welcome to Cultural Apologists React for today, September 6, 2024. This is an AI-generated podcast and can make mistakes. Use it for generating possible ideas, but don't rely on it as an authoritative guide to the day's news or to the details of cultural apologetics. The article discusses how billionaire Elon Musk's takeover of Twitter, now rebranded as X, has led to a significant shift in the social media landscape. With Musk at the helm, X has become a platform that prioritizes free speech over moderation, leading to an increase in hate speech and misinformation. Experts such as Tom Superior and Brian Mulhall suggest that this is not just a matter of Musk's personal preferences, but rather a deliberate attempt to shape public discourse and manipulate societal norms. They argue that Musk, along with other billionaires like Peter Thiel and Rebecca Mercer, are using their platforms to create a dark forest where people can gather in small spaces and build their own experiences, free from the constraints of traditional social media moderation. This shift has significant implications for society, as it allows hate groups and conspiracy theorists to spread their ideologies more easily. The article cites examples of high-profile individuals, such as Andrew Tate, who have been able to use X to disseminate misogynistic and transphobic views without being censored. The article also notes that governments are struggling to keep up with the pace of change in the social media landscape, and that regulation is often inadequate or ineffective. However, it suggests that users can take matters into their own hands by migrating to alternative platforms like Blue Sky, which is designed to be more decentralized and community-driven. Overall, the article paints a picture of a rapidly changing social media landscape where billionaires are exerting significant influence over public discourse and societal norms. It highlights the need for greater awareness and critical thinking about the role of social media in shaping our world. So how might we think about this story from the standpoint of cultural apologetics? The story of billionaires controlling social media platforms is a stark reminder of the words of Jacques Ellul, who wrote in The Technological Society that technique has become the new divinity, Ellul, 1964. In this context, it is clear that the likes of Elon Musk and Peter Thiel have become the high priests of this new technological order, shaping public opinion and manipulating the masses through their control of social media platforms. As Ellul noted, the technical phenomenon is not an addition to the old world, but a transformation of it, Ellul 1964. In this case, the transformation is one where billionaires are able to shape the very fabric of our society, creating echo chambers that reinforce their own interests and ideologies. The story highlights how Musk's takeover of Twitter, now rebranded as X, has led to a surge in hate speech and misinformation, demonstrating the profound impact that these individuals can have on public discourse. But what is driving this desire for control? According to Ellul, it is the pursuit of efficiency and productivity, which has become the ultimate goal of modern society, Ellul 1964. In the context of social media, this means using algorithms and data analysis to maximize user engagement, regardless of the consequences for public discourse. As Neil Postman noted in Amusing Ourselves to Death, this is a world where public discourse has become a form of entertainment, Postman 1985, with billionaires like Musk and Thiel pulling the strings from behind the scenes. The story also touches on the idea that governments are struggling to keep up with the rapid changes in the tech industry and are often unable to effectively regulate these platforms. This is a classic example of what Ellul called the lag between the development of technique and the development of social and political institutions, Ellul 1964. In other words, the technological advancements have outpaced our ability to create effective regulatory frameworks, leaving us vulnerable to manipulation by those who control the technology. But there is hope. As Postman noted, we must not forget that we are the consumers of this media, and we can choose what we watch, Postman 1985. The story highlights alternative platforms like Blue Sky and Threads, which prioritize transparency and accountability, offering users more control over their data. These platforms represent a chance for us to reclaim our agency in the face of technological determinism, Ultimately, as Ellul noted, the choice is not between technique and non-technique, but between two kinds of techniques, Ellul 1964. In this case, we must choose between the technique of control and manipulation or the technique of transparency and accountability. The fate of our society hangs in the balance. In conclusion, the story of billionaires controlling social media platforms is a stark reminder of the profound impact that technology can have on our society. Through the lens of Ellul's work, we see that this is not just a matter of individual choices, but rather a systemic issue that requires a fundamental transformation of our values and priorities. As Postman noted, we must be willing to make sacrifices in order to create a better world, Postman, 1985. The question is, are we willing to take control back from the billionaires and create a more just and equitable society? Thank you for listening to today's episode of Cultural Apologists React. Be sure to come back tomorrow for a new take on the day's news from the standpoint of Christian